Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. I'm Kimmy. This is my attic, and Merry Christmas Eve for those of you who celebrate it. If you don't, I hope you're having a wonderful evening anyway. I do celebrate Christmas, and like I said, tonight is Christmas Eve, so I just thought I would do a quick get ready with me. I am just gonna spend the evening with some friends and family, nothing major. But I am going to put some makeup on, so I thought I would film it, and I thought I would do like a trying, talking kind of thing. First of all, if you see glitter on my face, it's because I was wrapping gifts and I had some glittery ribbon. There was nothing like waiting until the last minute, and as I'm like looking around, this attic is such a mess. I'm trying not to stress over small things, but there's just stuff everywhere because I was trying to get everything together. And it gives me anxiety, but it'll be cleaned up by tonight. It'll be cleaned up by tonight. Anyway, I'm going to be using some of my favorite products from 2022 to do my get ready with me. So this is not really a trying because I already know these products. These are not all my favorite products from 2022. Next week, I'm gonna have a few videos. I'm gonna do my eyeshadow palette ranking. I'm going to do a foundation ranking. I'm going to do best and some of the worst 2022 in my opinion. So all those videos will be coming next week, the week between Christmas and New Year's. As for today, like I said, I'm just going to be using some of my favorite products. Not even just that I tried this year. Some of these products are just some of my favorite products, period. But I think a majority of them are from this year with the exception of the eyeshadow palette. So that one I pull out every Christmas. You probably already know what it is just by me saying that, but yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and get started, and what we're going to talk about today is a documentary that I recently saw. It's not a new documentary, it's a fairly old documentary. Well, not old, it depends what you consider old, but it was released in 2009, and it's called 65 Red Roses, and it is about a young woman who's living with cystic fibrosis. So it's not exactly a happy topic. It's not a happy topic at all. And I did kind of ponder if I wanted to do this. I knew that I wanted to talk about this documentary on this channel because it just spoke to me, and every once in a while something just speaks to me and I really want to share it on this channel. And I did think about doing a kind of a more light topic because it is the holiday season, and more specifically it's Christmas Eve, and I could sit here and talk about cookies and matching pajamas. I'm sorry, I don't mean to pick on you if you wear matching pajamas. Here's the thing, unless you're a kid, unless you're a child, I personally, my opinion, I cannot stand when people wear matching pajamas. It just irks me. I don't know, there's something about it. Don't take it personally, okay? So, I'm just not a matching pajama gal. I'm not. But yeah, so yeah, I pondered if I should do this topic, if I should kind of do a light topic, but then I thought to myself, and I thought, no, the message of this documentary was just so powerful to me that I thought this was a really good time to share it as we go into the new year. So 65 Red Roses, like I said, it's about a young woman that's living with cystic fibrosis. If it's an older documentary, it is from 2009. But if you don't know what it's about or what happens, like I said, it's out there what happens. It's not a secret because it's an older documentary, but if you are somebody that wanted to watch it and you don't want to know, there's definitely going to be spoilers here. That's what I'm saying. So we're going to talk about the film. We're going to be using some of my favorite products from this year, and I guess of all time. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so the base products I'm going to be using for primer, I'm going to be using Vitamin Enriched Face Base by Bobbi Brown. This is not a new product, but it's new to me this year. This is the first year I've used it. It's great, really, really great for dry skin. I'm also going to be using another one of my favorites from this year. This was released this year. This is the CC Nude Glow It Foundation. This is the first It foundation that has worked for me. It Cosmetics. I was gonna say, is it IT? It's not IT. It's It Cosmetics. This is the first and only foundation from It Cosmetics that has worked for me, and I absolutely loved it. Make It Last Dewy by Milani. I've used this before, but it is one of my favorites, and since I did start my drugstore series this year, thought I would pull it out. The Eternal Light Concealer by Too Faced. I loved this concealer. This concealer kind of came and went, and my prediction did not come to pass. My prediction was that Born This Way would make an Eternal Light foundation. I'm still waiting for that. I thought if they were going to do it, it would be around the holidays. But looks like it didn't happen. Might still happen, but it didn't happen when I thought it was going to happen. Also going to go ahead and use the Under Eye Brightening Tint Supercharged by Milani. Now this is not a new, I don't think this is a new product from Milani. I think it's been out. They did release another product this year exactly the same as this one, which I'm going to talk about in my best and worst of 2022. But for me, I'm going to use the original, which I thought was better simply because of the packaging. And then for the eyebrows, oh, I absolutely love the Brow Freeze by ABH. Did this come out? This either came out this year or last year, but whatever. It is my favorite. It is one of my favorite brow products, if not my favorite brow products. I'm actually already wearing it. It just freezes your brows into place. And then I'm gonna use a little of my all-time favorite High Brow Glow by Benefit. There's nothing new about this. It's just one of my favorite products. And then I believe from this year, we're gonna use the Kosas Air Brow. I believe this was released this year. I, of course, am in taupe. I think that's the color. I don't see the color, but this is the one. I think it's taupe. The Air Brow Gel. It is so, so lovely. So those are the products that we're going to start out with. And there goes my Kosas. Flew across the floor. I think I dropped something. I should look at all my videos. I'm over 100 now, and I'm pretty sure I have dropped something in every single one of them. Hold on one sec. Alright guys, so we'll go ahead and start with the primer. So I remember hearing about this documentary years ago. During school, my degree is in medical technology, and I remember when I was studying cystic fibrosis in school, I remember hearing about this documentary, but I never watched it. And back then it was fairly new. And I just never watched it. I always meant to, and then I kind of forgot about it. And then recently I heard someone talking about it. I don't even know where, but it was like one of those things where I just randomly heard it mentioned. And I thought to myself, I want to watch it. I've always wanted to see it. Let me go ahead and watch it. So I rented it on Amazon. You can watch it on Amazon. I think it was about $3, whatever. Well worth the money. And I think it was like $3 or whatever to rent. So cystic fibrosis, for those of you that don't know, it is a disease. It's a genetic disease in that it affects one of your genes. It is inherited, but I don't know everything about it, obviously, but I don't believe it has to be inherited, because in the documentary, I believe that Ava's parents, Ava is the young lady living with cystic fibrosis. I believe her parents said that it was not in their family, so I'm not 100% sure, but normally, as far as I know, it is inherited. And what happens, sorry guys, I thought I was filming, but I wasn't. So anyway, cystic fibrosis, like I said, it's a gene disorder. So basically, there's a gene that's coded incorrectly, and in this case it codes for a protein that's supposed to produce fluids that are around your lungs and other organs too. And basically, instead of being kind of thin, these fluids become thick. They should be thin, but if you have cystic fibrosis, they're very thick, and because of that, they can plug up channels they're not supposed to, and your system just doesn't work properly. Like, so you have a lot of mucus buildup around your lungs, and I believe also around the digestive system. So most of the time, people who suffer from cystic fibrosis will usually be very, but they're underweight, because they don't absorb the nutrients because of the mucus. So Eva in the documentary, I believe she's in her young 20s, I believe, when it starts, maybe 21 or 22. I know it says it, but I can't quite recall. And she basically kind of takes you like into her world and shows you what it is like to live with cystic fibrosis. And she has these two friends. She has these two girlfriends. Now, the other thing about cystic fibrosis is that what's really sad is you can't even like to get support from other people from cystic fibrosis becomes very difficult, because you cannot really be around people in person with cystic fibrosis. Now, when I was in school, that's certainly how it was. And when I was watching this documentary, that was how it was. Now, recently, within the last couple of years, there's been tremendous strides for cystic fibrosis. There's still no cure. There is no cure, but they have come out with drugs that kind of work on the gene, I believe. And quality of life and lifespan has gotten significantly better, from my understanding. So I am not 100% sure if that's still true, but if I had to guess, I would say it's still true. The reason it's true is because you can develop superbugs when you have cystic fibrosis, because you're very immunocompromised, and there are certain bacteria that really only affect people with cystic fibrosis, and the possibility of passing them around just is too great to risk. So people with cystic fibrosis really shouldn't be around other people with cystic fibrosis. So this documentary, when it was filmed, it was kind of before the social media really took hold of the world. And the girls are communicating, I think, through MySpace. I'm not sure. But they all have screen names. They all have screen names, because back then, some of you may not remember, but back then, it's just changed. Social media has changed a lot in the past 10 years. There was like a lot of chat rooms. If you were interested in like talking about something, you could join a chat room, and most often you joined a chat room under a different name than your own. So all the girls have screen names, and Eva's screen name is 65 Red Roses, because when she was young, she couldn't say, like a little girl, she couldn't say cystic fibrosis, so she would say red roses. Excuse me, she would say 65 roses, and then later on she added red because it was her favorite color. So that's why they call it 65 Red Roses. So in the beginning of the documentary, Eva is waiting for a lung transplant. And she makes two friends, and she's carrying a beeper constantly, because you know, it's very, when you go on any organ transplant list, you know, it's obviously not an easy thing. So and there's one, you know, they're talking to her parents are in the documentary, and it's just, they're all kind of waiting on eggshells to see when her beeper will go off to get a lung transplant. So she has two friends that she made off MySpace, or I believe on MySpace, I'm not 100% sure. They also have screen names, and one is Spirit of Kina, and the other young lady calls herself Meg Mucus, because they also are affected by cystic fibrosis. And Spirit of Kina has had a lung transplant, and she's suffering from chronic rejection, which is a very big risk whenever you have a transplant. Your body will reject it to a certain point. You have to be on immunosuppressant drugs. The problem with the lung transplant, and I'm not 100% sure why this is, but it's a lot more likely, you're a lot more likely to reject it than some other organs. And Kina, Spirit of Kina, she is going through that. She has had a lung transplant and her body has rejected it. So the other young lady, Meg Mucus, she does not wish to have a lung transplant. And it's, the thing with having a lung transplant is, back then it was probably like one of the only things to do, but it's such a, the risk of rejecting it is so great that a lot of people, it was a very personal decision about whether you wanted to go through with it or not. And if you did go through with it, you kind of knew that it probably wasn't a permanent fix, which is really difficult when you think about it. So yeah, Kina is going through this chronic rejection, and Meg's not sure if she wants it. And Meg is kind of, her situation is really sad because she doesn't seem to have, and Eva talks about this in the documentary, that she doesn't seem to have a support system. Kina is living with her mom. You can tell her mom is involved in her life. And Meg, she's, I think, living with a boyfriend. I don't know, it really doesn't talk about the relationship too much, how serious it was, and we all know how that goes sometimes. So Eva was just saying how, you know, she wished that she had had a better support system, because she has such a great support system. She has a very supportive, loving family, and her family all takes part in the documentary, and they all talk about how difficult it's been and all this other stuff. So so the girls, they, you know, connect with each other. They're able to talk to each other about what it's like to live with cystic fibrosis. And then one day, Eva is leaving. She's going pumpkin picking of all things with her sister, and her beeper goes off, and she gets the notification that lungs have become available for her. And it's just like to see her, like how excited she is and how incredibly, like, you know, hopeful she is. It was kind of hard to watch. When I was watching the documentary, I knew how it ended. You know, I knew that she passed away. I knew that because I knew what had happened to her. So it was a little bit difficult to watch how excited she was over to get the lung transplant. But she does get it, and in the beginning, it's hard, of course, but things look good for her for a while. She gets the lung transplant. Things go as well as can be expected. Like, of course, it's difficult in the beginning, but she does really well. And then I'm going to get into the happy part of the story. As we do that, I'm going to go ahead and grab some bronzer, some blush highlighter, and some lip products. Guys, was this the year of the bronzer or what? There was a lot of good bronzers this year, but what I'm going to use today is the Rare Beauty bronzer. Love this one for highlighter. I'm using Pillow Talk Beauty Light Wand Easy Highlight. Love this one. I don't know if this came out this year, but I tried it for the first time this year. I loved it. And a BB Blush Glow Cheek Color by Purlisse. Absolutely beautiful. I believe this came out this year. Then for lip products, I'm going to go ahead and just use my Milani lip liner. I don't think I tried any new lip liners this year. Whatever. So I'm just going to use my Milani one. Going to use my Tease by Milani, kind of, which I don't remember what collection lipstick this was, but I believe it was released last year, but I tried it for the first time this year. I really enjoyed it. It was in my Milani video. And Fenty Heat. This is the Lip Plumper Gloss Bomb Heat. I believe these were released, if not this year, then last year. I don't know. I tried to keep track of the eyeshadow palettes. I didn't keep track of all the makeup, but that's the stuff I'm going to go ahead and use right now. I realized that I didn't use my Highbrow Glow Light, so that's what I'm going to use right now. So after Eva gets her lung transplant, what's really special is that she gets to see the girls, because she's had a lung transplant, so she's not going to be susceptible to the cystic fibrosis bugs anymore. So she invites Meg to come see her, and she invites Kina to come see her. She joins a rowing team, which is something she always wanted to do. And that was what was so incredible about this documentary. Like, the whole time, everybody is just so incredibly impressed with just Eva's attitude, her personality. Like, she's just so hopeful and so just a beautiful soul. Like, she comforts her family instead of, like, you'd think they'd be, well, of course they are comforting her, but I mean, she's like trying to comfort her family and her you know, her sister, her, you know, her friends, her Meg and Kina, and she's just like so hopeful. And when she does get this lung transplant and she's feeling really, really good, just the things that she does, like, she just takes such advantage of her life and of the time that she has, and she does all of these things that she wanted to do, one of them being on the rowing team. So, and she's just so happy, like, she's so happy to be doing these things that we kind of, a lot of us, I think, take for granted. And her friend Kina comes and sees her on the rowing team, and then they embrace. And I had, during that scene, guys, I just literally had tears in my eyes. It was just such a happy thing. Meg did not come to see her. Meg was, I think, going through a lot at the time, it seemed. but they stay in contact. And Eva also makes her hair this really like crazy red color, which looks amazing on her, and it is her favorite color. And she's just talking about so many of the things that she did. She goes back to school. She, I believe, is a theater major, and she like participates in like different kind of plays, and she just does like all these amazing things with her life. And unfortunately, I think a couple of years go by and she does start to suffer from chronic rejection, like Hina did. And she just kind of gets sicker and sicker, and then they kind of realize like the only thing that they could use to find another lung transplant, or to do another lung transplant rather. And it's kind of like, you know, obviously that's not the easiest thing, and it doesn't happen. I don't seem to recall if she decides not to go ahead with it or if it's just, you know, she runs out of time. But she makes a film at the very end of the documentary. She grabs her parents and her family and her friends who are with her at her bedside, and she kind of just thanks everyone in her life for, you know, giving her the support they gave her. And she kind of says like a goodbye, and like thinking about it, I could, you know, it just really, really moved me. And the reason I wanted to talk about it is because it just made me think about what do we really like do like with the time that we have. And I mean, I know we all know we're not going to be here forever, but I feel like myself, I do not really, like this year I felt like I had a very stagnated year. I didn't have a terrible year. I didn't have a terrible year. And there were a lot of good things that happened to me this year, but for the most part it was stagnated. And it was stagnated because of me. Because I kind of made it that way. I didn't do a lot of the things that I wanted to do, and it's just, I really wish that for everyone, for everybody watching me, no matter what your beliefs or where you are or what, as we head into the new year, which is why I wanted to talk about this documentary. As we head into the new year, what I really hope for all of us is that we grasp our lives and just take good care of ourselves, like I always say, but more than taking care of ourselves. Live like, the next time, just live like we don't know how much time we have, and just take advantage of it and live. And I don't want to quote that country song, because I'm not telling anybody to go skydiving or anything like that. I don't mean that. But if there is something that you want to do it. Try to do it. If there's something that you've always wanted to try it. If there are people in your life that are holding you back, that don't believe in you, this is my biggest thing. Surround yourself with good people. And maybe cut off the people. I know it sounds harsh, but the people that don't believe in you, that just kind of hold on to you because of whatever, that's going to be a hard one for me. But there are people in life that hold you back. There are. And I don't mean people who love you and support you. I mean people who use you. That's kind of what I mean. People who use you for their own reasons. And sometimes it's not easy to cut them out, because you do, you know, care about them, whatever. But even if you care about them, a lot of times I think they hold you back from being what you could be, being your best self or your best life. And what I'm going to try to do this year is, when I feel like that happening, think about Eva, her, you know, her amazing disposition, her amazing attitude, and everything that she did with the time that she was given. And just consider myself so blessed and lucky to have the time that I have, that I can do the things that I want to do with, and try to surround myself with people who are going to make my life better and do the things that I want to do. And I think, you know, her spirit kind of lives on in that way. When people, you know, I think she made this documentary. This couldn't have been an easy documentary for her to make. I don't think I would have been able to do it. At the end, you know, she knows she's gonna die. You know she knows she's gonna die. Her family knows she's gonna die. And I don't think it definitely was not the easiest thing to do or to make, but she did it, and I think that's why she did it. She wanted to reach other people, and she did. She most certainly did. And yeah. This documentary, it just kind of changed the way I was thinking about things, and that's why I wanted to talk about it as we head into the new year. A lot of you have shared your stories with me. A lot of you have, and I really appreciate that. A lot of you have, you know, told me about yourselves, what's going on in your life. I know some of you are not well physically. I know some of you are not well mentally. I know some of you are fighting battles on both fronts. But I just, like I said, I just encourage you to count your blessings, whatever they are, and just enjoy your time and do something that makes you happy and take care of yourself. I don't know what makes you happy. Maybe it's eyeshadow palettes. Maybe it is your pets. Maybe it is a friend. Maybe it's crocheting. I only say that because I know somebody that absolutely loves it. They love to crochet. I don't know. Maybe it is skydiving. Whatever it is that you want to do, take advantage of your time and just take good care of yourself, and really try to appreciate it, and you know, appreciate the things that you can do, and appreciate the person that you can be, and take care of those around you that love you and support you. And that's really all we can ask for, right? And like I said, I just wanted to share this incredible documentary with you guys because it touched me, and like I said, going into the new year, that is the message that I had for you guys. So, talking about eyeshadow palettes, let's do it. Do you know which one I'm gonna pull out? Guys, every Christmas it comes out. Here it is. Give Me Glow Christmas Morning Eyeshadow Palette. To you from Give Me Glow. I wanted this for such a long time. This palette is like perpetually sold out, but I don't know if it's available right now. If I had to guess, let me give a quick look. I'm gonna say no. It becomes available, I have found, in the summer. That's when I got mine. I got my palette in the summer. No guys, it's actually available. It's $34. It is on the Give Me Glow website. What the heck is Haunted Pumpkin? I have never heard of that palette. First one that came up. Okay, so it is available. There was a while when there was a time when this palette was always sold out. So this is what it looks like inside. Mine is heavily used. It's so gorgeous, and I absolutely love this layout. So I'm just gonna go in right here with these two shades. These shimmers are insane. So what I'm hoping to do this year, besides, like I said, with the, you know, cutting off some people in my life that I just simply have to, spending time on this channel, which I love this channel, and doing videos. You know, I had a trying and talking a while, I think a couple weeks ago, Physician's Formula, when I talked about how I really want to concentrate on videos that I want to do, and not so much on videos that I'm just trying to get views with. Like, this would be a good example. I really wanted to do this video because I really wanted to talk about this documentary, and that's what my channel is really going to be. It's going to really be about me doing videos more or less because I want to do them, not because I just want the views, which of course I do want the views, but I want to do videos that I know I'd enjoy and I think other people would enjoy, instead of just, you know, videos because I think they'll get on the algorithm. And if I can grow this channel like that, that will be amazing. And if I keep this channel at this size with the viewers that I do have, that will be amazing too, because I absolutely adore the community that I have grown on this channel. Like I said, a lot of you have reached out to me, and I just absolutely love it when you guys do that. The other thing I really want to work on, pajamas. Can you see that? I'm sorry, it's on the middle finger. I do that all the time. Don't take it personally. But I just wanted to show you that shimmer. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's some fallout. That's okay. When you have a shimmer like this, you have to expect the good with the bad. And the fallout does come. But Look at that shimmer. It's incredible. So something that I really do want to work on this year is books. I want to read, yeah. I watched Samantha March's palette ranking, and that looks good, right? God. I watched Samantha March's palette ranking, and she said that this year her goal was to read more books, and she tried palettes, and she did it. She read like 70 something books, and I think she rated like 47 palettes. I'm going to rate 43 palettes on my palette ranking, and I think I read 2 books this year. So I'm a little bit behind, but that's okay. What I really want to do is write, and I've already written a little bit, to be honest with you, of 3 books. One is really down the pike, but they're all non-fiction books. One of them is just about makeup allergies. It's really just about my nickel allergy. I've done a blog, I've done YouTube, and now I think I would like to put it to paper. And then the other one would be about living with what I would call functioning mental illness, which is something I know a lot about. And that would probably be the first one that I would try to get out. Oh my god, I'm covered and give me glow, but that's okay. And yeah, I'm not saying that I will pump out 3 books in a year, or even 1 for that matter, but if I can just actually, like, it's half written, it's in my head, it's in my journals, I have some of it put to paper, but I would really have to sit down and make it a priority. And I think this year that's what I want to do. I think I finally do want to work on my books and this channel, the way I want to do this channel, and, you know, growing the relationships that I want to grow, and getting out of the relationships that I feel I need to get out of. And every time I feel like I can't do one of those things. By the way, I'm now going to go use this Vicious mascara. This is by Nabla. I just tried this the other day. It was on my video with makeup I never tried before, but I own. Maggie May was picking my makeup, and this mascara is outstanding. It's really incredible. Yeah, if I could do those couple of things, and when I feel like I can't do them, or like when I'm just getting like falling into doubting myself or depression, which I'm prone to, I'm really gonna try to think about like what I talked to you guys about with this documentary. And I'm telling you, it just really moved me. So if you are interested in watching it, it is on Amazon. You can rent it, you can buy it. I believe it was something like $3 to rent, so I highly recommend it. I did try to do my own research to find out what happens with the other girls. Unfortunately, so Eva, she was 25 years old when she passed away, and unfortunately Meg Mucus also passed away at the age of 25. She had a son, from what I heard, from what I read. On Spirit of Kina also had a son, and she passed away at the age of 28. Which I suspected that when I did the research that I would find that, but like I said, what's amazing is that the strides that they have made, there's no cure, but they have made progress. They have made progress. I'm sorry, I was a bit of a mess. Anyway, guys, I certainly want to thank you for joining me for my Christmas Eve get ready with me. If you liked the video, I hope you will give it a thumbs up. If you saw the documentary, I hope you will let me know what you thought of it. And like I said, I hope you certainly will think about the things that I said and what your plans are for the new year. And I don't mean what you're going to do New Year's Eve, even though I'm sure that's going to be fun. Hopefully it will involve watching my eyeshadow palette declutter. Whatever it is, of course, I hope it's a good time. But more or less what you're going to do for yourself this year and what that involves. And I hope that you really think about it, and like I always say, take really good care of yourself so that you can take care of someone else. I want to thank you so much for joining me. I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas for those of you that celebrate it, and for those of you that don't, I hope you have a wonderful evening, a wonderful peaceful evening. I wish you all peace and happiness tonight and all year, and thanks again for watching, and I'll see you real soon. Take care, guys.